So, a few things I want to say right off the bat for those of you who are joining us today. One, we are going over two games today, both of which are played by Seigen. Two, I got these games off of Go for Go, so I'm not certain what prompted them to get this set of games, because there's like, I don't know, some 600 plus games of Go Seigens on record, at least according to Wall Theory. And I think Go for Go had like 50 of them or something like that. There are only like 2 pages of games to go through. I have no idea how they selected these to be put onto Go for Go, but I found 2 of them that I was interested in. Well, actually, no, I found 3 of them that I was interested in, but I picked 2 of them for today. Another thing I want to point out is, even though I have no new stones, it is a sad fact that because of my camera, you are not going to really pick up on that very well. That is something that I need to change for the future. I do apologize for that. If you are interested in knowing exactly what the new stones look like and what I hope to be able to bring to you at some point in the future, you can hop onto my Instagram under the same name, Dwyrin, and see what those lovely little guys look like. So that is for the future. That is for the future. That said, let's look after this game. Now, I will admit I was biased when picking a Go Seigen game. I did not pick one that necessarily went to, let's say, counting. I picked one instead that, well, you know, had the things that I pretty much look for in a game, which is a little bit of fighting, and someone may have been murdered by the end of it. I mean, come on, it's October. You can't have a nice peaceful game that goes to counting in October. Someone's got to be stabbed. That's all there is to it. Those are the rules. I didn't make it up. Except I did. So, in this game, so yes, we can see how old this game is, judging from the fact that black opened up in the 3-3, or at least what I would usually say until the new era of Computer Go decided to hit us square in the face. Now, I mean, maybe it's okay to open up the 3-3 as black, simply because if you take 4-4 point, one thing you are unfortunately going to have to contend with is like 3-3 early invasions, which can be slightly annoying. Way to get around that, of course, is make sure you don't open up with the 4-4, or you take a 3-4 point instead. But alright, he decides to open up with the 3-3 point. For those of you wondering, this game was played in 1964. Many of you, and I'm going to say probably 90% of you, weren't alive in 1964, so that does classify it as a rather old game. But even way back then, it would appear that white is opening in the upper left-hand corner, inviting anything and everything. So cool to him on that. That is the sign of a true professional. Eric Jehan was alive. Cool, cool. Another 3-4 opening. Not 4-4, so clearly we're not going to have 3-3 invasions. Sorry, I should stop joking about 3-3 invasions. Now this is an opening we don't see very often. Dual 3-4 points facing one another. One of the ideas behind this being, if, let's say, black's next move is to approach, one of the things that we can do, for example, is pincer, which might add also as a growth, or an expansion rather, off of that corner. So that is kind of nice. We could also take territory here, which isn't that bad. On both sides, try to live in the middle. White will then probably poke in and invade. But I think that is more of a modern construct than an older one, so we probably wouldn't be seeing that kind of Joseki in this game. It was played this year a lot, 3-4 facing. Yeah, I haven't really seen this in professional play lately. Because, of course, everyone's doing, the bleep bloop variations and experimenting heavily with those. Before that, I haven't really seen this be a really popular thing for probably like the last closer to 10 years-ish, maybe? Black plays an enclosure. This enclosure in and of itself is something that we haven't been seeing for a very long time. By a very long time, I guess I'm saying, again, 10 years or so. It kind of fell out of favor because it's a bit of a bummer having to always have your extension taken away, obviously. The extension then given to your opponent, then having to deal with that. That point later on in the future, we might be able to see another approaching stone over here, which could be a bit of a bummer. Because then the question is, can they live in our corner? It's a perfectly solid move, don't get me wrong. It just fell out of favor because it's a little bit slow, which is also one of the reasons why you see the orthodox a lot more. If we're going to enclose here, for example, at least this way, they have to deal with this. They don't get to expand. I'm knocking stones around because they're a little bit more slippery than the other glass ones. And yeah, that is the short story of that. That said, after they enclose, White decides that he is going to take an enclosure for himself. Once again, downside of that is your opponent could easily say, I'm going to grab the extension, which acts as an extension off his corner. Then we probably have to do something in there. What? Who knows? Find an approach, things like that. However, it would appear that Black is very much prioritizing corners over everything else, and rather than try to expand and deny the extension for White, he goes and plays a high approach, like so. White responds with the attachment, and thus we are actually in another reason why I picked this particular game. Because rather than play a move like so, and then just, do the whole pulling back bit into the whole attaching bit, or connecting, sorry, and then playing, ye old Jiseki, like so, we do not see this. No. Instead, someone has a more interesting idea, and that is to drop down. That stands to mention that this has also fallen out of favor, the drop down, because after White follows suit and Black plays the Hane, lately to kind of counter this style of play, we have been just extending down, and then when our opponent extends up, because if they drop down too, we can cut them, or we can Hane at the head of the 2 and 3 stones, right? Proverb. So it stands to reason they're going to play like so, and then unfortunately it leaves the attachment here, which tends to make this Black group rather heavy, right? But I guess before that was decided, avalanche style play was kind of all of the rage. So Black plays here, White doesn't drop down. Instead, White decides to Hane. Small avalanche. Okay. Black Tari. White extends. And now, one thing that I saw repeatedly when trying to pick a Go Seigen game to review is this exact variation. This exact one was played over and over and over again in a lot of the games. There was this one, and then there was one other. What was it? Actually, I think it's coming up. I think I'm doing a game with the other variation today, so I won't go into it right now. If I don't, oops. Whoops. Black does not get to play twice. White gets to play first. then black, then we Atari. Black gets to cut. And from here, we have a fairly straightforward variation. Black takes. White's going to Atari, or nope, sorry. Black is going to Atari white. White Atari's black, and obviously black is gonna take, right? No, because then white Atari's all the things, and you are captured. So we have to go this way. White gets to play here and take a stone. And black gets to do likewise. Now, this is a very old variation. We don't see this very much anymore. I could show you what we do see nowadays, but it's very, very long and complicated, so I just really don't want to. I like this variation. Professionally, we don't see this very often. In your own games, there's nothing wrong with it. There's something a little bit more long-winded we see nowadays. It tends to take up more of the board. Like, we get stones like out to here. It's kind of ridiculous. But there's more Aji left behind on both sides, and professionals tend to like variations that leave more Aji behind. So if you don't see this variation in the games that you're studying these days, that's why. It doesn't make it bad. It's still okay, especially for amateur play. It's just something that we don't see a whole lot of. That's all. It's not in style. So, white's move. We must make a decision in our world. Where are we going to play? Where are we going to play? We have options. Ooh, do we have options? We've got so many options. We can make an extension down here. We can make an extension up here. We can approach the 3-3, but we're not going to 4-4 it. We'd probably approach on the top side or the other side, rather than hit this and let white or let black decide what variation he wants to play. We can do things like this or this, I suppose. Probably wouldn't play over here, a little bit too small. Playing close to thickness, and we're leaving invasion points behind, only taking a few points of territory. Any of these other options that we've already mentioned would definitely be larger than those. So the question is, where do you fine folks wish to play? Unfortunately, I do not have heat maps on, so you cannot tell me manually by clicking on the board, but you can still state in chat where you have your ideas. What do you think is big for white? If we were white, where would we want to play? You would want to play on 04, which would be the top of the board. Okay. Yeah, approach, then probably back off. Sure, why not? Stands to reason. K3, just go ahead and extend. Okay, sure. I like R13. What's R13? That is, the approach over here. Okay. Yeah, a lot of options, Hard to pick one in particular, right? Kind of tough. White picks the split. A bit of an odd split, too. I think if we were teaching the split in basics, we would say you should split here. And we would say that because this way, you can grab an extension this way 2 space. You can grab an extension 2 space that way as well. But he can still kind of get a base here, right? We've got moves like this or this. So if we're pushed from this side, we still can get a base. So it's not too bad. But it does still look a little bit cramped, doesn't it? Looks a little bit cramped. And we're not going to play from this side as black, right? Why aren't we going to play from this side? Why is that move bad? Does it leave the corner open? Does it... What does it do? What does it do? Why aren't we playing from this side? It is slow, isn't it? If we push from this side, we're actually trying to get like 1 extra line of territory. Maybe 2. Just like 6 extra points. That doesn't seem right. If we push from the other side, well, the potential here, right, is worth more than those 2 extra points or 2 extra lines. So that makes sense. But apparently, white is using this to fight with. And that is quite okay. Now, here's a question for you. Why aren't we going to block this way? Can anyone tell me? Because we can connect this up, right? We can't get Hanade. We can connect it up. Right. Look at this. We're connected. Why aren't we doing this? Because there's a nice big wall for white. There is a nice big wall for white. And I mention this specifically because, unfortunately, yes. Unfortunately, yes. Some people will play this way. You saw this in that little shorty that I uploaded, right? Some people all the way up to 5 Dan will play this way because all they see is the fact that they're getting this lovely 3rd line territory, easily countable. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Ooh, yeah, we're rolling in the points now. And they're not really having very much respect for the influence that's being given away here, right? So that's not too good. That is definitely not too good. So we're definitely not going to play that way. That is giving way too much away. So that is how we can figure out which direction we want to play. We want to play this way instead. And we're definitely not going to keep running this out all the way. That would be insanity. Which is why, after white extends, we're not going to keep extending. He simply turns. Okay, cool, excellent. White has to respond. Then black can respond. And we haven't given white a really, really huge wall here. Excellent. Now, we haven't answered, we haven't defended this yet as white, right? We got pincered, we approached, there's a little bit of shape there. So now white says, I'm going to get a base. Bit of a small one, but it's a base. Black kicks. White extends. Another big decision to make in our world. Another big decision to make in our world. Huge decision. Huge decision to make. How do we handle this position? We could say, there are large points. I take large points. But there is another proverb that we are going to adhere to in this game. That is, we're going to play urgent moves before the big moves. This is big move. And anyone who says, this move is big, I want to play that. Good on ya. However, there are some urgent ones on the board, like defending these stones. But there's also a little connection under, so we could maybe delay that a little bit. And black chooses to delay it to put a little bit more pressure on white's group. A little bit more pressure, because this group right here, oops, that group right there, doesn't completely have shape yet. So we push. White needs to have shape. Make a table. Then we decide to jump out. White says, I saw your emergency connection. You don't get to play it ever. That's a dangerous one. It's also threatening to connect under the stone. So black says, no connecting under the stones, please. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know what rank he was when he played this game. I just thought this was interesting for reasons you're going to see very shortly. And, yeah. White plays another table. And black says, it's time to attack. He's going to get very, very aggressive very, very quickly. Very, very quickly. Now, we're not going to go through here because this is a trap. Why is that? Why did I just call that a trap? Out of curiosity. Why did I call that a trap? If you put a stone there, is there an electrical current going to go through your seat and shock you? What about the knight's move, Mr. Picard? And what knight's move do you mean? Do you mean this knight's move? Is that the knight's move you mean? It's not, but I'm going to play dumb. Because some people might not know what you're talking about. Ah, yes. We can go here. Exactly. And all that really does is seek to strengthen black. So we're not going to play that, are we? No, 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 no. Instead, rather than strengthen our opponent, we are going to come out this way. Then if we get like a little bit of a wall here, then maybe we can go through there and we have like a little bit of a wall attacking the stone. Maybe, maybe. Don't wanna be surrounded. Which is a shame, because your opponent wants to surround you. Ooh, we're under severe attack. Poor Ghost Seigen, he's gonna die. Ooh, no. But we're gonna poke. We're gonna counter poke. It's fine. Just gonna counter poke. Or are we? Okay. That's the thing. We're getting poked now. But it's fine, because we can block, like so. Now we're going somewhere, huh? Atari, cut, push, cuts. Now we're getting somewhere. Nice solid block. No more Atari. So we're going to try to connect. And white's going to be like, no. And black's going to be like, yes. And white is going to be like, no. No, 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 no. You do not get through here, you silly fuel. Ruh-roh. Now this is awkward. Because now it looks like Dwyrin's a giant dick. Person who gave him a nice deal on Ghost Stones only wanted me to go over a Go Seigen game. So in top trollish fashion, it would appear that I picked the game where he got murdered, like a noob. Why did Dwyrin do that? Personally, I think it's because he's a jackass. Or, what if it is because Black is not dead? Wow, what if Black isn't dead? Can anyone see any possible way for Black to not be dead? I'm not sure if you're seeing S11 for good reasons or bad reasons. I think Q11? What's Q11? So the first move is actually to connect, because this is very strong, so it's Sente. Like so. Okay, that was the first strong move. There's second. And we extend. Now here's the thing. That move right there is the one that's fun. Because if we play here, we Atari, connect, snapback. Right? So, white doesn't want to be snapped. This is the days before the chat, so we don't want to be snapped. So he extends out, which allows him to Atari down. White extends. Black does likewise. Now if we Atari here, we could go underneath and connect one way or the other. So white drops down one more time. Does not get to play twice, sorry. Oh, right, sorry. Forgot to put Black's move. There we go. Go ahead and remove liberties there. Now we Atari. And as has been mentioned in chat, we are going to go to a Ko. So we Atari, which forces a capture. Which then allows for double Atari. Now you could fill this and let Black out, but then you have to worry about this group, and you also have to worry about the fact that this is not a live shape. Just because you killed off the 2 stones doesn't mean this group is alive. So we absolutely have to connect here. Like so. And then Black gets to retake. Now, there is only one minor uncomfortable fact with this game. And that is the fact that there are no co-threats on this board. So white pushes. We have no choice but to take. Like so. Allowing white to go ahead and push through. Okay. So who wants to be Who wants to be black on this board? Does anyone like this position? What do you say? Good position? Bad position? What do you like? What you thinking? Even though you can't quite make out the grain, I will go ahead and make a side note of I'm looking at the preview window on my screen, and the extra thickness of the stones is causing a shadow enough to make the stones pop out a little bit more, at the very least, even with the Crapomatic 5000 that I'm recording this with. So I'm a little bit happy about that. Can't like it, but I want to look pretty comfy for black. Really, I think it's really awkward for black, because this is now white's potential, right? But, all right. Black says, pokey, pokey, poke. And white says, die. So what can we do here? We have to use our strengths to mitigate the damage here. What is our strength? What is this? What is our strength? Do we have any strength on this board? Any upside to all of this, as you might say? If you can see it, you are a god. The weak laddery. Ooh, the weak laddery group indeed. Indeed. Picard seems like he might be a god. That weak laddery group right here doesn't quite have eyes, does it? And the push has to be responded to, otherwise, like, if white defends itself right now, and we get this in, we can get a bunch of forcing moves here, which allow us to get, like, shape in this area, right? And that's greatly going to reduce the effect of white's profit. So, the guy wanting to profit is going to extend, because ninth line ain't something to sneeze at, right? Double Hane, 2 and 3 stones. Okay. Looking good. Now, the proverb of Hane at the head of 2 and 3 stones is a little bit misleading. What that means is, if you Hane, yeah, look, this stone here doesn't have liberties, right? So if that stone doesn't have liberties, this is still a 3-stone group in terms of the proverb, right? So the Hane here is in effect, because this only has the 3 libs. So we don't want to do this, otherwise if we Hane again, then our opponent can easily cut and put us into a very awkward position, since we're now down to 2. So, same thing. We can extend proverb in mind, just like so. And then black will say, is this mine? So, white, not being greedy, says, you can have that, I'm going to have this. Black says, okay, you can have that, I'm going to have this. This game is admirable for the sheer, I don't know, it's kind of like solid play. It's not greedy play. And it's very ambitious on both sides, you know? Because white's like, this is larger, and black is like, screw you, this is larger. But someone's right. Someone's right and someone's not. Reinforcing the, you know, top half of the board. But you know what? I think White's right. I think his area is larger because he can still grow off it, right? I think maybe White might be right. So we might have to reduce this a little bit. So how do we reduce? Well, let's look for forcing moves. Where is the forcing move? Can I live in your corner? Nice first forcing move. Can I live in your corner? And White is like, no, you stupid fuel, not living in my corner. It's like, okay. Got a bunch of stones in this area. Do I have Aji over there? Make sure there's no weird, like, Hane or Hane here into attachment there into making a base in this area. Looking for that Aji. Don't mind me. How do you answer this one? By not letting me live in your corner again. Got it. You really don't like me doing that idea. Well, we hunted for Aji. Didn't really see it. So time to go on an emergency operation to pick up our dead stones. Gotta fly through the enemy line and try to hook up. But White apparently he got a little bit annoyed at all those pokes. So he asked a question as well. Can I connect my stones up? You know, if we're exchanging like this. And Black says, no, you cannot. White says, oh, I can't, huh? Well, what if I cross-cut? Seen that one before? Yep. Seen that before. Have to be careful. Don't want the Atari coming through here or this gets bad. So we have to defend. Uh-oh. But if we're defending, we have the infamous Q sacrifice where we can Hane and then crosscut, then like Atari thingies. So, all right. Thank you for what I think is the follow, person whose name I didn't see in time. So White got to get a little profit. White got a little bit of profit. That is clearly a success. Now Black needs a success, or this game is going to look really, really stupid for Black really, really quickly. And rumor has it, Ghost Seigen's not a stupid person. He was a genius. So let's see where we can go. This one's really nice. We're creating all sorts of cutting points. Got White to back off and defend his corner. Asks, are you alive? White says yes. Black says prove it. Looks pretty well proven. So we go back and make certain that these stones are still dead. A little bit of Aji there. So we're going to reinforce it. Make certain that cannot connect up. Look, like that right there is a move a lot of amateurs would omit. That one right there, right? Be like, yeah, if he connects, I can probably Hane on the inside. And then if he cuts, I can probably extend, and then that's probably going to be okay. So I really don't really want to probably do anything here. But no. Leaving nothing to chance, he's making certain that there's no Aji with the large knight into the, or the small knight into the large knight. So, white defends. Black extends. No saving your stones, sir. But if I can't save those stones, he can still save these. But first, forcing moves because we've isolated this group. Pokey, pokey, pokes. I have to double check their move first because I saw in a lot of the games when I was looking for a Go Seigen game to look at, their response wasn't always what I thought it was. Gonna go ahead and make sure we're alive. Poking at the shape, the eye points. Coming out, brave decision, rather than just living like a little loser. But all right, he's alive. Can I connect up? Asks Black. No, you cannot, says White. Can I ruin your base? Says Black. Just getting into forcing moves. Again, the answer is no. Same question. Again, the answer is no. Now this one is interesting. He's looking to push through and surround this group again, because its eyes aren't completely defined. White comes out. I remember Shikshin's game when host asked, shouldn't you spend a move to defend here? And he said, only yes, but I really don't want to. Well, you see, that's the thing. Depending on who your opponent is, sometimes you can get away with that. Like maybe they aren't going to risk a complicated fight. Or maybe they're not going to be able to read that that fight is in their benefit and they won't take it. But like when you're actually dealing with good professionals, then they don't leave that crap to chance. If they should defend something, they will, typically. Turning to reduce. Threatening a surround. Getting shape. Shape, shape, shape. Shape, shape, shape. Shape, 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 shape. What's kind of interesting about this, though, is this was potentially all of White's area not too long ago. And now, as we can see here, it's not so much. We did get a group that managed to come on inside and escape, which is very good. Putting pressure on groups, forcing them to go back and live, which is really nice. Pushing to the third line instead of the fourth. Getting some shape for our efforts. I think it's a connect. Yes, it is. Do, 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 do. have eye shape many different ways at this point. Nice move, picks up some points. But you can see here, there's Aji still. So black, interestingly enough, in this area that was white's, is actually picking up like 5 points of territory. That's a little ridiculous. White Hane. Black responds. White connects. Now maybe it's those points in Sente, because this connection's pretty big since he's trying to keep this all for himself. White extends, because he can't let white or black capture that one stone. Has to defend that stone now too, otherwise it's going to get screwed. Big move. Threatened to sacrifice the 2 stones. Same thing here. Big move. Big endgame move. Forcing a sacrifice on the 2 stones. Push. Force a connection. Laksu. And then we just go back and defend. And black pokes. Forcing a connection. Enlarges some territory on top and threatening the Hane, which is big. Pokes at the cutting points. Black solidly connects. And then goes for an invasion. Now this invasion could be painful. Black says, you can't live. But it's okay, because it wasn't meant to. What it was meant to do is allow this move to be played in Sente. Black has to respond. White gets to push. And black has to respond. White gets to connect. And black has to respond. And last but not least, white gets to connect there too, because black has to respond. So this little move here, very, very, very big in endgame. Very, very big in endgame. Black's like, but I don't have to respond to you just yet because I've got a cutting point, which is actually kind of huge. But white defends just by extending down. Little uncomfortable. That only means that black gets to play here. And white will have to take. Oh, sorry, white pushes first. And then white takes, question mark? Yes. And then we get to Atari, I'm assuming. Nope, I'm assuming badly. Hana to threaten to kill this again. Whoops. Connect, stupid. There we go. Connects. And then defends. Drops down. A little bit weird with these black stones because they don't, whoops, they do not slide on the board like the glass ones do. Like where you place them, that is exactly where they want to be for the rest of their life. Throws in. Doesn't work. Extends down. Now, doesn't that look dangerous? Doesn't that look very dangerous? Yes, I did oil them. They came a little bit dusty, but oiling them made them look very, very nice, in my opinion. So how do we handle this? What do we do here? How do we not die? Because there's a cut here and a cut here. And if you do one, they're going to take the other. So how do you not die? It's a lovely little Go problem for you guys. Lovely little Go problem. Lovely little Go problem. Tell you what, this is called black to not lose the game. If you get this wrong, you are behind. But if you can kill those two stones, you win the game. G1. What is G1? Looks like I think you got it right. Yes. We play here. Oh, sorry. F1. Wait, which one did you say? 1 second, you got the coordinates, I don't... Yes, F1, you're right, you're right.
Hey, hope you have a good idea.
Nice caps. Having a good day so far, I'm just saying. Thanks for your 50 bits, much appreciated. Hope you enjoyed this real board video. But yes, F1 is correct. Because if we play here, then we can connect. Because if we get cut, that's now an Atari. So there's just nothing we can do there. So congratulations. It looks like nuclear was a little bit off. But if that isn't point of fact F1, then the Rebonnaise was quite correct. As well as Touring Amateur. You pass the Go problem, you get to win the game. Everybody else fails. But that's okay. So White resigns here. So this game was from the 20th Japanese Oza. And as you can see once again, Go Seigen is black. And once again, he opens up with the 3 point. Now, some of you in the last game lamented a certain fact that is being rectified in this one. You were saying to yourself, darn it, why did you pick a game that is not influence-oriented? Never fear. Never fear. From the 90s? No. The Oza has been around for a very long time. This is actually from 1972. So this was a little bit more influentially oriented. So that's a cool thing. Once again, we see upper left-hand corner being taken, inviting anything and everything. So that is cool. That is cool. And this almost had me not want to review the game. This looks so passive. Look at this. Third line. Here and here. Here and here. Third line. That's very, very strange. Clearly, white wins this game. White agrees. White's like, "Fool, what are you doing? Look at what you doing? What you doing? Just gonna approach you now, stupid. Keep you on low on that line. See what you're gonna do." But black slips right behind white and says, "You're doing what to me again?" Okay. I'm going to follow up my stone and take your corner away. So there's that. Black defends, keeping some corner for himself, not very much. And here we're about to see how old this game is. Where's the next stone, everybody? Where's the next stone, everybody? Where do you expect the next move to be? We would expect it to be here. Because we don't play slow nowadays, do we? No. But instead, black tiger mouths, which is a little bit slower. The idea here being we can play this one, and if white plays here, we can play away. Because if he takes, we can take and re-extend or something. It's not the end of the world. But if we play here, well, I mean, we could get poked. That could be a problem. A lot of awkward situations here. White extends for his base. Now we are going to totally expect a move like this in black's future if he doesn't respond. But if he does respond, it's in Gote, and then white can play wherever white wants to. So black approaches the corner first. We see another old style move, the high back off. We don't see it too much nowadays, because generally people really don't want to be approached like this handicap style. Basic Jiseki. Don't mind me, just playing Jiseki. Do. Easy game, easy life. But because he played it, white feels compelled to play another move here. Because if that move is not on the board, and black gets to play this one, the question, what do we do from here, becomes really, really, really large. Like, what do we do from that? What do we do from that? Pincer it? Do we pretend like this is something that we wanted? Now what do we do? We're getting our corner completely surrounded. Ideally, we'd want a base here now before, black tries to counterattack and expand. But we ain't got no time for that. We have to come out here, so that's going to happen. So that's just really, really, really awkward. So instead of the awkwardness, we just take that away. Easy peasy. But that's Gote. 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 So we approach like so. And then white is the fucking T-1000. He's traveling through time, mastering the bleep bloops. And he invades the 3-3 point. Just kidding. We've been doing this for a long time. We've been doing the 3-3 invasion from this position for a while now. Because we've got, like, this area where black is centered. So we hit where it's centered. Right. And then reduce lightly from, like, these low stones on the outside. This has been around for quite some time. So that's a thing. Extends. Plays the Hane. The old school style Hane is actually not bad right now because we've got large walls that we're working with. So it's not too bad. It's not too bad. So we play here. We extendu. Same thing here. Nice solid wall. Don't mind me. Just taking all your territory. Oh, and I'm doing it in Sente. Bleep, bloop, bleep, bloop, bleep, bloop. So that's a lot of territory. That's a lot of territory. But do you know what you just did? Do you know what you just did? You just gave Go Seigen influence. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Someone done messed up. He doesn't know it yet, but he just done messed up. He just done messed up. He doesn't even know. He doesn't even know. He's just gonna go along his merry little way, having no idea. So, goes after shape point. Expected. Also expected. Don't mind us, we're just coming out and getting more influence. We defend because we're not really affecting danger here, but we don't really want to risk being kept low and getting a solid wall on this side too. So we play here. But that's goats. So black puts pressure on the stones. White's just like, psh, too slow. Coming out. But he's coming out. But he ain't gonna connect. And now we've got a weak group running. And suddenly white has to start ignoring things in order to be defended. Such as this. Had to let black get the turn in. That's pretty big. This move is kind of cute. This move is kind of cute. He's creating a cutting point. As you can see here. We Atari. We connect. But we're just looking to settle. So after we play here, we get to drop down and cut off the one stone, putting much pressure on here. Why can we do this? Because this cutting point is God tier. If we cut off this point, then do you know what happens? These two stones die. So, white cuts off. Black says, meh. Meh. Meh, meh, meh. White connects. Black connects. White connects on up, forcing black to cut on through. And now we play here. And it looks like this is a little bit of a tough game now. Because now we've given a lot of influence to white. A lot of influence to white indeed. For endgame purposes, we're literally dropping straight down. We are not playing an Atari, because that's bad for endgame. And then with all his extra influence, white extends. Now, interestingly, K. Willie just said black is bullying at this point. But is he really? Because this influence is tied to a living corner. I mean, this stone doesn't seem very happy. So is this really bullying? Or is white bullying black? It's like, you had your time, old timer. Not so much nowadays. Though it was played in the 70s, so it's not, he wasn't really that ancient. Still, it looks pretty reasonable for white, I have to say. Pretty reasonable for white, indeed. We're getting rid of this as a forcing move because we're taking that side as solid point territory. Now we can connect on up fairly straightforwardly. Black has to defend himself because of the cutting points. And we can do that and put pressure on the extension for white. And then white just says, bam, I'm playing Cosmic Go. How do you like me now? I'm going for all that middle, yeah. But I said, those people, remember, I said those people who like seeing some influence play will like this game better. At this point, you probably think I meant it as for white. Thank you, Gurk, for your Twitch Prime sub. But you'd be wrong. Black is going to get influence because that stone that white just played can't connect to anything. So it has to run back. And white is immediately pressure on his top group. White says that's fine. You can't live there. Brushfire 15-month and or resub. Thank you very much for your resub. Much appreciated. Black extends. White says, I don't know what you're doing, but you're dead. White says, I'm going to kill you. White says, this cannot live. And black says, oh no! Heavens to Betsy's not killing me. Anything but that. And white says, yeah. Yeah, you're dead, sir. Black extends. Oh no, I'm being killed, says black. And he's just taking all of them forcing moves while his opponent's busy trying to kill him. Just trying to kill him. Just trying to kill him. But suddenly we have an issue. Small issue, but a big one. That made no sense. Let's pretend it did. And that issue is, sure, the stones are dead, but they were sacrificed for the wall, which are now staring straight at the runaway. So now what do? White says, I will poke at your weaknesses, force you to defend, and thus I will be fine. It's like, well, I'm gonna surround you. And white says, no, you're not. And black says, oh, well, if I'm not, then what did I just do here? Because he's re-surrounding him. The influence in this game shifted so fast because of Aji. Stupid, 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 stupid Aji. The influence went from white. Look at look all that influence that white had. And now black is the one surrounding. Right? Completely. To make matters worse, we kind of needed a move. Otherwise, someone was going to live still on top of the board. Right? Because if we omit this, if we omit that, we've got 1 second. Yeah, we've got this one, which is Sente. And then we still have this one, which is Sente. We have the Atari, which is Sente, into looks like a co-shape. That's a problem. So, he's protecting his profit. Nothing bad will happen to him there now. Pokey, pokey, poke. Just reinforcements. Don't mind that. But that means K10. You wanted it earlier. There you go. K10. Now we have to defend. Ruh-roh, ruh-roh, ruh-roh. Quick! Make all the cutting points. Do something! You know, I used to hate it when people did this in their games. But now I think they just watched a lot of old ones where they do it all the time. And that's where they picked it up. So I kind of have to stop being mad at them for it. Creating cutting points. Don't mind us, we're just creating cutting points. This got a little messy. There we go. Push him up and he looks fine now. Sweet. Cut. And I'm going to connect. We don't want those two stones to die. That'd be bad. And we need more Aji. Liberty shortage. That is a liberty shortage. So we have to push. White's trying to come out, but it's not going to be that easy. Not going to be that easy by a long shot. We poke. We get Atari, which goes into an extension. Problems, problems everywhere. Now we have to Atari our way to freedom. However, there is an issue here. And that issue is a little Atari. Didn't I say Aji was a meanie? Didn't I say that? Oh, I remember saying it, because I was here. I was here, sitting right at this position that I'm in right now when I said it. Take. Hope you can count liberties well. Hope you can count liberties well. Nicely connected. You gonna give me Sente? Gonna give me Sente? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? Oh, not giving me Sente. Well then. What about here, asks Black. White says it's fine. And Black asks, is it really? Is it really fine? And White says, yes, it is fantastic. And again, is it really? Is it really fantastic? Because the problem here is if we connect that, that's forced. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, 5 liberties versus 5 liberties. Tell me, what is that called? When one group shares when one group shares the same amount of liberties with another group, they're both surrounded. What is that called? What is that called? I think that's called a Seki. That's called a Seki. It's not called a capturing race. You can't win it. So the top of the board became Seki. Here's the problem with that. The only other territory White has is here. Nothing here yet. Here, and maybe, hopefully, we're going to play this. Hopefully, maybe we can play this. Black has some territory here, some territory here, some territory along the side that we probably can't get rid of. Easy ways to make a few extra points in the middle of the board, along with this one. Again, we don't really know what's over here yet. It's painful. It's painful, man. It's painful. So White resigns. GG. GG. Too much. Too much. What was it? This stone here? I think it was too much. This stone should have been like another move up top of the board, but then at that point, we have to realize that that might get completely disconnected. And if that's completely disconnected, then we've lost anyway, because the influence was too much to reduce. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Bottom left seems bad for White. The bottom left was interesting, yeah. Things kind of seemed to take a turn when he got the 3-3 invasion. Even though it was the perfect 3-3 invasion, we got like all of that in that territory. It's so large, right? This. We got it in Sente. Black had to defend. We picked up all the points just as we wanted them to. But, yeah. Dad influence, yo. Dad influence. Yep. He was going for influence and then went for a deep invasion and then just tried to chill. But when he went for the influence, he gave potential to his opponent, which opened up a victory condition, right? It opened up a victory condition for his opponent. Because, like, without this wall, would that sacrifice have been as good? I don't know, man. Arg. We find a problem right off the bat. I have not flipped the screen, so that shows in the upper left-hand corner. It is not in the upper left-hand corner. It's in the upper right-hand corner. Give me a minute. So, fun fact, I had all of this set up an hour and a half ago, and then when I was cleaning my keyboard, I hit the delete key on accident, which got rid of my real board camera source. So I had to set everything up all over again. That was fun, right? Okay, I'm back. That black stone looks so fake. What? Why does the black stone look fake? How does that even make sense? Isn't getting a new camera in order to distinguish the grain of the stone slight overkill? Not exactly. No, absolutely not. That's not overkill at all. I mean, this is like what I do for a living, my dude. So that's not overkill at all. That's a justifiable expense. It's not only a justifiable expense, it's a justifiable expense that can be then written off on ye old taxes. You say the camera is blurry. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. There is nothing I can do. That is just a camera. Is anyone actually complaining about a blurry camera right now? Triggered? Yeah, little bit. Little bit. Can you adjust the focal length on the camera? Do you really want me to step up and try and screw with the settings right now? Because I can. I can, if you want me to. I don't think that's gonna go well. Anyway. Why are you playing Go in a snowstorm? When you put your hand... Yes, that is just the nature of... Yeah, that is the nature of the chroma key with OBS. It's not the perfect thing in the world. The minute I have a different source, a different shade of green, yeah, it's going to do that. It's going to do that. That's just the way it's going to work. Sorry. Can I dance for you? Sorry, that's for patrons only, Eric Jehan. Anyway, thanks to the miracle of editing, all of this is going to be off of YouTube. So it's great. It's great. No one will know all of this was there. Is the camera lagging? I don't know. I don't see it lagging. Do you mean there's an audio and video? Do you mean there's an audio desync from the video? I think I fixed that. Snap my fingers on camera? How about I do this instead? By the way, thank you very much for creating more editing for me. I appreciate it. Seems fine? Oh, the blur for moving. Yeah, it's just the camera. I'm sorry, the camera is a piece of shit. It's a $600 piece of shit. Or I just don't know how to use it properly. One of the two. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. It's one of the two. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's me. I don't know. It's okay, Jazzgar. You're fine. It's fine. It's fine. All of this is just, you know, pew, pew, pew. Edit out of the video. It'll be fine on YouTube. It's great when your hands are over the board. What? Okay, we'll review the game this way. There. Anyway, continuing onwards. White, not... That just scared the shit out of me. I actually jumped.
3 months.
Okay, Willie, thank you for the 3-month resub. Much appreciated. Oh my god. I forgot I had that on.
No ASMR, 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 no ASMR,
For the love of God,
ASMR,
Rebene.
no ASMR.
I hope you appreciate that I'm gonna start charging you like $100 a lesson if you do that again. Oh my god. So, this is an instance where methinks the lady doth protest too much. We know she really wants
No
ASMR.
ASMR, no ASMR, no ASMR.
Holy fuck. Don't do that again or I'm gonna have to turn it off. Alright. That's more for editing for later. Awesome. Anyway.